Hi, I'm going to show you today how to make the raw man version of banoffee pie. And this recipe is going to be split into 3 sections. So first I'm going to make the base, then the filling, and then the topping. Okay, for the base. The base is very simple to make. 3 basic ingredients. Equal parts of walnuts, almonds, and dates. And a little bit of sweetening, either maple syrup or agave. So in the food processor, we place a cup of dates, that I've prepared earlier, and a cup of almonds, and a cup of walnuts, and a bit of sweetening, depending on your taste. Now before we go any further, I just want to show you that we have a couple of different size tins. This is a small tin, and 1 cup of each of these may be a bit too much for this size tin, and for the larger tin like this one you may need a bit more. But as long as you mix the base, the 3 ingredients, in equal parts, it doesn't really matter how small you make the tart or how big. Now it's just a matter of processing these 3 basic ingredients, and I'm going to make a little bit of noise for a minute. You might just have to scrape it down a little bit throughout the process. And shake it until it sticks to the side. Right. Now what we're looking for is the mixture to stick to the sides. As you can see, with the amount of oil that's in the nuts, the mixture is sticking nicely to the side. So now we're going to scrape it out of here and press it into the tin. Now I've decided I'm going to go with the smaller tin today, and I'll have probably a bit left over. So we'll just put it into the tin. Now there's no need to grease the tin because of the amount of oil that's in the mixture. And also depending on how thick you want the crust. So it's now just a matter of pushing this mixture into the corners. Again, only you can have it as thick or as thin as you want it to be. And then I'm just going to place it in the fridge for a little while we're working on the filling. And that's how easy it is to do. Just a little bit more in the corners there. Now you can either go for these tins here where the bottom comes out like this, or the spring form one where the sides come off. If you use a normal baking dish that you have to get underneath to lift it out, it makes it quite difficult because it's a crumb base. So that's pretty easy to do, just pushing it into the corners like that. And there we have it. And I'm just going to put that into the fridge now while we work on the filling. Right, next we're going to create the filling for our version of the raw man banoffee pie. In the blender we are going to put 2 cups of dates. Now these dates I have cut in half to make sure that there's no pip left in there. So 2 cups of dates that I've pre-cut before. And we need a cup of walnuts. And 1.5 cups of water. And I'm going to blend that for a while first before we put the rest of the ingredients in. Righto, now to this mixture we're going to add 1/4 cup of maple syrup, and 1 banana. Got a banana over here, pop it in, and 1/4 cup of coconut oil. Now the oil through the winter months is quite solid, so I've put it into this cup, 1/4 cup measure before, so but the blender will sort that problem out. And this coconut oil is going to, when it solidifies again in the fridge, will set it nicely for us. And last but not least, a dash of vanilla. Now that's really all that goes into the filling. Okay. And we blend it again. So there we are. That's nicely mixed now. Let's give that a bit of a stir. Now I got the tart out of the fridge and I've layered the bottom with some sliced banana, and now we're going to pour this pie filling over the top. And I can tell you it's delicious. Now we're going to put that back in the fridge to set while we make the topping. Okay, now the third stage of this banoffee pie is the topping, the cream topping. And it's really easy to make. And all I'm using is a tin of coconut cream, which I've put in the fridge overnight, and I'll show you how it separates. That way you can see that the cream on top has gone quite solid, leaving the fluid underneath. And I've put about a tin of the thick cream into the bullet container here. Now to this I'm going to sweeten it now, which I will use now 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, and you can use agave if you would prefer to use agave, and about a teaspoon of vanilla. As you can see, very easy to make. This is a bit hard to get out of. About a teaspoon, depending on your own taste. And we're going to, you can do this in the blender if you prefer the bullet. I like to do it in the bullet because it's a bit smaller and more compact. It's quite thick, so you'll have to really give it quite a good shake up to get that to mix up. And we'll have a look how that is. It's ready to go. Okay. But as you can see, that's a pretty nice consistency there. And that's all we've done now, is just blend that in the bullet with a bit of sweetening. Get our pie back out and pop it on top. Looks pretty yummy, doesn't it? Again, you know, as generous as what you want to be with the cream on the top. Now all I do to decorate the top is I use a bit of coconut sugar. You're better off putting it into a sieve, and you just decorate the top with a bit of sugar. Like that. And then you can push it out of the base like this, very gently. Take it out. Being very, very gentle with the sides. And there we have it, a raw man version of banoffee pie. Enjoy.